Keeping it real.
Good family. This is your brother Bishop of Bishop's on TV. And unfortunately, we have to discuss the passing of Takeoff of the Migos. This was a very, very unfortunate event. Man, when I heard the news this morning, I was sick to my stomach, man. Really, I was really disgusted and disappointed and just had this somber feeling, especially since it happened in Houston. I live in Houston. It was raining the whole day. So to see that news, especially especially with a brother who had achieved so much success in his music industry. I mean, this brother was on top of Billboard charts with the group Migos, reached heights that, a lot of rappers are not fortunate to reach. And to lose his life due to senseless violence, man, that's heartbreaking. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend that I was the biggest Migos fan. To be quite honest with you, initially I wasn't a fan of Migos. But when I moved to Atlanta, I grew to like Migos. Because when you in Atlanta and you hit some of them spots up, man, you start seeing people react to Migos music. And then just kind of the style that they had, it wasn't. They took an old style and put a new twist to it, and pretty much popularized and introduced that style to the newer generation under them. And that whole movement, that whole era of Migos at their peak was just something to kind of witness, especially in Atlanta. And, I really started to appreciate the Migos, right? And just for, like I say, man, for artists to reach the kind of fame, reach the kind of level that they've reached, and for it to be taken away, especially at the age of 28, it's heartbreaking. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And, a lot of people are saying the same things over and over again when these rappers die, man. Oh, man, rap is the most dangerous job. We, it's all the we's. We doing this. Black culture is trash. Hip hop is trash. And I just want to give my perspective real quick, because I used to be in the industry. Now, I wasn't a heavy hitter. I wasn't, as popular, nowhere near popular as Migos. I wasn't even as popular as Migos Weed Man. You know what I mean? But I was in the mix to an extent. And I just want to kind of explain the environment that, unfortunately, a lot of these rappers put themselves in. Now, when I say that, I am not blaming these rappers for their deaths. I know people going to probably come at me in the comments and act as if I'm blaming these rappers. I'm not blaming these rappers for these cowards, these savages pulling the trigger. Let's just get that straight. Whoever took this man's life, whoever was quick to put out a gun, doesn't deserve to be amongst civilized people. They don't deserve to be amongst civilized human beings. To me, in my honest opinion, they lost their right. But what I'm saying is this, man. Me being in those type of environments, I know what those environments bring. It's a lot of toxic energy. It's a lot of toxic masculine energy. It's drugs. It's liquor. It's egos. It's loose women, pretty women. You know how brothers get. Let me just say this. You know how men who go through shit in the hood and respond with short tempers are not critical thinkers and have been institutionalized. When they're around other guys full of toxic masculinity and there's a bunch of women around, man, the egos started flying. Tempers are not at bay in these situations. It's late at night because this incident happened after 12 o'clock. You know what they say about 12. After 12, nothing good happens. Ain't nothing open but Taco Bell and some legs. Yeah, I mean, it's And I just want to say, man, a lot of rappers tend to put themselves in situations that are avoidable. Rappers, especially rappers like Migos and any other group, like even the Nipsey Hussle, y'all got to know y'all worth. Y'all are pretty valuable considering the position that y'all were in and the fact that you made it out of poverty. Understand that you don't need to be involved or you don't need to be hanging out with wolves. I know of the people who threw this party together, this private party, this private event in downtown Houston. These dudes got some money, but these dudes are attached and connected to the streets. And what people fail to realize from the outside looking in is that a lot of these events that involve rappers always have an element of street politics, street individuals present. It's always there. This is not some event where J. Cole put it together or Talib Kweli and Mos Def. You're not going to see the same type of demographic at a Black Eyed Peas private event at a bowling alley. You know what I'm saying? I've been to many different networking events, shows where you had all different types of crowds. And I can tell you right off the rip that, certain type of demographics, certain type of rappers bring certain kind of energy that is not necessarily the best spaces to be in, especially if you not from that environment. If you're not street, you don't need to be involved in certain areas. And even if you street, if you have elevated to a level of success where you don't have to gamble, you don't have to be around the ratchet individuals, the Negroes that still have that deep street mentality. You don't have to be in those spaces anymore. Imagine Jay-Z and Beyonce just hanging out after 12 o'clock around a bunch of institutionalized street niggas, street individuals. It's not going to happen because Jay-Z and Beyonce know their worth. It's man, it's just so much, and it's a magnifying glass on hip hop as is. And people will say, well, what's it gonna take for things to change? I don't know, man. I don't have the answers. I feel as though maybe a lot of our people, maybe just people in general, shouldn't gravitate so much to dehumanizing rap music, dehumanizing rap artists. But people will continue to listen to the self-destructive music. They will make these artists popular. And these artists, you have to understand that these artists who make this self-destructive music, they have street people involved with their whole persona. They just have a street element involved. And again, when you mix liquor, you mix drugs, you mix fast women, you mix egos, you mix all that under one roof. Especially at that time of night, it's you just screaming for disaster, And I seen a video where leading up to the shooting where Quavo and this other cat, I don't know who this was, they were getting into it. It was a heated conversation about basketball. This is not just hip hop. This is with a small but very loud demographic within the black community. And we're talking about, ratchet individuals, ignorant individuals in lower income areas, even though this didn't happen in a lower income area. This happened in downtown Houston at a very popular spot in downtown Houston. But the type of crowd that this event attracted people that's from hood areas that do hood activities, you know what I mean? And when you attract that kind of energy, it's nothing good comes out of it. And that's what took place. Quavo tried to walk away from the video I saw. He tried to walk away. They talking about basketball. Understand that when you have these institutionalized minds who come from these toxic environments, any little thing that you say can set them off. Any little thing. Any little thing. I'm gonna say this one last thing, and then I'm kind of end it off. I remember when I was young, and I grew up in a predominantly black community. Now, everybody, majority of the black people in our community were hardworking citizens. These were sane, civilized human beings, but you had a few small bad apples that just were very loud. These are the ratchet, these are the ignorant hood individuals. And I remember growing up as a kid in middle school, we would go to this park down the street from my crib. And I can remember playing Mortal Kombat. And I was beating everybody that came into this wreck at this park, at our neighborhood park. I was just beating them, beating everybody. I'm telling you, I'm like in 7th grade. And I can remember these two individuals. They were older than me. They were in high school. And they were, some thugs. And they started talking some trash to me. And I immediately got intimidated because I'm like, damn, these dudes, they older than me. One of them actually was a chick. She was a female, but she was like, what they call a stud. Scared me. So one of the guys playing against me, round one, I'm beating him. And the stud, she talking a lot of crazy stuff. Like, she really coming at me, like she's threatening me. I ain't do nothing to her. I'm just playing a game. I'm telling you, any little thing set these individuals off. And it got to a point where I said, you know what? It's getting so heated. Things are getting so tense that I'm going to purposely lose this game. Just so I don't get whooped anything. And, I lost on purpose. And, she was still talking trash. He was still talking trash. But that saved me from getting my butt whooped. And these are the type of individuals that, unfortunately, good black people in our community, or let me just say productive black folks. Because I'm not saying that these people are not good. I mean, if you take somebody's life, then you ain't nothing to me. But human beings are a little bit more complicated due to experiences and things of that nature. So I don't want to just leave it to good and bad people. But when you're dealing with individuals like this, any little thing can set them off. And, supposedly when Quavo walked away, which that was the right thing to do, he walked away. But then he said, let me go before I hurt one of these N-words or something along those lines. I don't want to spread rumors and nothing like that. But just that little bit right there, just that little window was enough for them to just crash that mug and cause all kind of destruction. Unfortunate situation. Rappers, do not allow yourselves to take a step backwards. Migos was Grammy nominated. They had no business hanging with individuals that haven't accomplished as much as they did. I'm just being honest. Unfortunate situation, man. Rest in peace to the brother Takeoff, man. This is really hurtful, man. Leave some comments in the video. Until next time, y'all be safe, man. Kiss your babies, kiss your families, hug your loved ones. I'm out.